Today we are going to start talking about factoring. Okay? Factoring. So when we've been dividing, that's one of the things I keep coming back to, right? If we divide and we get a zero denominator, what does that mean? We get a zero denominator, what did that mean? Right? So go back to our basic numbers. 15 divided by 3 equals 5, right? With the remainder of 0. Did I say denominator?
Yes.
I'm sorry. With the remainder of 0. That means that the 3 and the 5 were factors, right? Which meant that 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Okay? So we're doing the same thing, but again, we're working with polynomials now. And it gets a little more complicated. So what we're working on, ultimately, where are we going? We're trying to take a polynomial like x squared plus 7x plus 9, and we're trying to solve it. But it's not as simple as solving something like x plus 9 equals 7. Right? It gets more complicated when you get more exponents in there. So what we're doing right now is we are going to learn to rewrite our polynomials in a different form so that we can solve them. Okay? So we're going to start off pretty simple, and we're going to factor what we call the greatest common factor. And that's not anything new to you. You've been doing that since elementary school. Okay? But now we're going to do this using polynomials. So let's do 35x squared plus 14x plus 7. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of the terms in there. There are 3 terms. 35x squared is one of them, 14x is another, and 7 is a third one. And we're going to look to see what goes into all 3 of them. Okay? So what goes into 35x squared plus 14x plus 7? 7. So we're going to take a 7 out. And then in parentheses, we're going to write what's left. Well, if I take 7 out of 35, basically I'm dividing. What's going to be left? How many times does 7 go into 35? 5 times. So I have 5x squared. How many times does 7 go into 14? 2x, and then 7 into 7? 1. And now, right there, we have factored out the greatest common factor. Yes?
Are you able to write that without the 1?
No, you need to put the 1 there because it's a plus 1. If it was next to the x like that, then you could leave the 1 off. Okay? Okay, let's look at another one. Let's do, let's do 6 minus 18p plus 3p to the 5th. What is it? Yeah, would you put it up on my desk so it doesn't distract you? No, put it up on my desk. You passed it across the whole room, so you lost the privacy privilege. Okay, go ahead and factor this one out by yourself. Okay. Okay, so what's the biggest number that goes into all 3 of them? 3. So we're going to take a 3 out. How many times does 3 go into 6? 2 times. How many times does 3 go into 18? 6. And don't forget, we still have the p. And 3 goes into 3 1 time. So it's 1 p to the 5th. But of course, we don't have to put that 1 there. We can leave the 1 off. And that's our answer. Okay? Of course, they do get a little harder. So let's look at one that's a little bit harder. How about 70 p to the 5th plus 14 p to the 4th minus 7 p to the 3rd? So we look at 70, 14, and 7. What's the greatest common factor? 7. Okay. But this one's different because I also have p's in common. In the other ones, right, this one, there was no p here. There's no p in Exodus 6. And if you look at the first one we did, everything has an x except for this last one. So we didn't have that in common. But in this problem, they all have a p. So we're going to take a p out, but we have to figure out how many p's to take out. Okay. Can I take out 5 p's? If you look at this, p to the 5th means I have p times p times p times p times p. I have 5 of them. Here, how many do I have? 4. And then down here, I have 3 of them. So if I take p to the 5th out, all 5 of these p's would cancel out. But I'd run into trouble here because I don't have 5 p's to cancel out. I only have 4. And I'd run into trouble here also because I only have 3. So what we do is we take the lowest number of p's out. This is p to the 3rd, so I take p to the 3rd out. Okay? All right, now we're going to divide to figure out what's left. If I take 7 out of 70, what am I left with? 10. If I take p to the 3rd out of the p to the 5th, it's going to cancel 3 of these. How many p's are left? P to the 2nd. Yeah, I only have 2 of them left. So I have 10 p to the 2nd left. Plus, I'm going to take the 7 out of the 14. What am I left with? 2. P to the 3rd is going to take 3 of these p's away. So I'm left with p to the 1st minus, take 7 out of 7, I'm left with 1. And all of the p's come out also. So there's my answer. Okay. Want to do another one? It's just going to be 1 because the p's are all gone. So remember, if I had p to the 3rd over p to the 3rd, what does that equal? 1. Okay. Okay, how about this one? How about 8x squared minus 4x to the 3rd plus 32x to the 4th. I want you to do that one by yourself. We start off by looking at the numbers. What's the biggest number I can take out of all 3 of them? 4. I'm going to take a 4 out. Okay. Did you not understand where the 4 came from?
I know where the 4 came from.
Okay. All right. Okay, now let's look at the x's. They all have an x, right? They all have an x, which means I can take an x out. I just have to figure out to what power. So we always go to the smallest power. So we're going to go x to the 2nd is going to come out. Okay. All right, now if I take the 4 out of 8, what am I left with? 2. The x to the seconds, they're gone now. So there's no x's there. Minus, I take 4 out of 4, that leaves me with 1. If I take x to the second out, I'm left with x. Plus, take 4 out of 32, that leaves me with 8. Take x to the second out, and what am I left with? X to the second. Okay. We subtract the exponents. Okay, let's do another one because I'm not convinced you're all getting it. Asen, would you put your iPad away? Let's look at 12a to the third minus 42a squared minus 48a. Okay. What's the biggest number that can come out of there? Gianna, what's the biggest number I can take out of there? What is it? 12? Okay. So does 12 go into 12? Yes. Does 12 go into 48? Yes. Does 12 go into 42? No. Has to be all of them. Yeah. 6. Let's try 6. Does 6 go into 12? Yes. Does it go into 42? Yes. And it goes into 48? Yes. 6 looks good. Okay. Okay, Dominic, what about the A's? Can I take any A's out? No? Okay, why not? Do they all have an A? They all have an A, which means I can take an A out. I just have to figure out how many. So I'm going to take 6A to the first, because this is the smallest exponent there. 6A to the first. Okay. All right, what's that leave me with? Drew, what's that leave me with?
2a to the second minus 7a minus 8.
Good. Excellent. Okay. Questions? Okay, I have a worksheet. You're going to finish that this period and upload it to Google Classroom. We're not finished today. You're going to do this work and upload it. Okay. Excuse me. All right, here's the first one. So let's see here. RJ, what did you take out of the first one? Oh, I'm sorry. Say again? 10? We need something that goes into all 3 of these numbers. 3. I thought you said 10. Okay. All right, so what else can we take out? Mary, what else can we take out? Asen, what else can we take out?
Take out a 6. What?
Oh, you can take out a 10, a 6, and a 3.
And 4. Oh, Lord, Miss Murray.
Mark, please save me.
N to the 4th.
N to the 4th, yes.
I thought
That's because you were watching a video while I was teaching it instead of paying attention. 3n to the 4th. So, Lexi, what's that leave me left?
N to the 3rd plus 6n plus 3.
There you go. Good. Excellent. Good job. Halston, what'd you take out of number 2?
2.
No R's?
No.
Why not?
Because the 4 doesn't have one.
Yeah, there's no R with the 4. So what's that leave us?
Oh, 2 plus 3
There you go. Good. All right. TJ, number 3.
9, parentheses, -5, -5n, -3n to the third.
Excellent. Good job. Okay. Riley, number 4.
10 parentheses -2r to the fifth plus 9r plus 9.
Great. Excellent. Any questions so far? Okay. Drew, number 5.
I took out 2x. And then in parentheses, -5 plus 5x plus minus 3x to the second.
Perfect. Perfect. Asen, number 6.
8 -p plus 5p4. Took out 3, sorry. I took out 3.
Don't factor it completely, just taking the greatest common factor. So we get
8 minus 3, more minus p, sorry, plus 5p4.
good job. Okay. All right, Jaden, number 7. This is a tricky one because there's nothing that goes into 3, 4, and 2. So if I can't take anything out of the 3, 4, and 2, what can I take something out of? Jackson?
Wait, I have a question. So, for like the first number, you put the smallest number next one?
For the variable, yes.
So you don't take that as well?
Sometimes you do. Depends on the variable. Okay. Let me see, who's got this one? Go ahead, Asen.
P squared plus p minus 1. Okay, sorry. P squared,
I'm taking a p squared out
yes.
because they all have a p, so we take the smallest exponent out. Okay?
We got p squared for the first one.
No. What happened to the 3?
It's you divide it by 1. There's
What's
nothing
3
to-
divided by 1?
1.
3.
There's
3. So we have 3p squared plus, I still have 4 because I didn't touch the numbers, 4p minus 2. Okay. TJ, number 8.
1b to the second,
Good, yeah. Take b to the second out. What's that leave us?
parentheses, 2 plus 3b plus 6b to the second.
There you go. Good job. Okay. Questions so far? Okay, Jaden, try number 9 again. What goes into 6, 4, and 12? 2. And what's left? 3k to the 5th. Good. Excellent. We can't take a k out because the 12 does not have a k, right? Okay. Drew, can you do the last one?
Yes. I took out p, and in parentheses, p to the second plus p minus 5.
Perfect. Good job. Okay. Okay, make sure that that is uploaded to Google Classroom. So now we're going to go a little bit further.
I'm confused. I got the log on.
We will have a homework quiz Wednesday. Homework quiz Wednesday on the worksheet you just did. Okay, there'll be a homework quiz on the worksheet that you just did. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at, let me get some practice problems here. Okay, now we're going to factor quadratics that look like this. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, again, we're trying to factor these so that we can ultimately solve them. Okay, trying to factor them so that we can solve them. If I can ever get to my screen here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Is everybody taking notes? I'm going to make 2 sets of parentheses. I'm going to put an X in each parenthesis. Okay, now I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to equal 6, but add to equal 5. Give me 2 numbers that multiply to equal 6. Yeah, add to 5. So it's 3 and 2. So we're going to do x plus 3, x plus 2, and we're done.
That's it.
They get harder, but yeah. So, and it, by the way, it doesn't matter if we did x plus 2 times x plus 3 like this. It doesn't matter. They'd be the same. Okay, so basically this is what we call factoring. Okay, we're factoring. Factoring is the opposite of foiling. So if I were to FOIL this, distribute it, I would end up with this. So I'd get x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 6, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6, right? So factoring is the opposite of foiling. So you can always FOIL it to check to see if you did it correctly. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's do x squared plus 15x plus 26. X squared plus 15x plus 26. Okay, so I need 2 numbers to multiply together to equal what?
26.
26. So let's look at that. We can do 1 and 26. Well, that doesn't add up to 15. We can do 2 and 13. Does that add up to 15?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so there it is. So I did 2 parentheses, 2 sets of parentheses. We put an X in each one, and we've got plus 2 plus 13. Want to try one yourself? Okay, how about x squared plus 12x plus 32? Okay, 2 sets of parentheses. We put an X in each parenthesis. Give me 2 numbers that multiply to equal 32,
4 and 8.
but add up to 12.
Wow.
4 and 8. Okay, let me show you how you can work through that. All right, so let's just start listing those factors. 32. Start with 1 and 32. Okay, then I'll check 2. Does 2 go into 32? Yeah, 2 and 16. Does 3 go into 32? No. So that's nothing. 4 go into 32? 4 and 8. And I can stop there because right away I can see that that adds up to my 12. So you just start making a list, okay? Start making a list. Okay, they get a little harder. So for instance, let's look at 5x to the third minus 25x squared plus 20x. Now, the couple examples I showed you, to avoid confusion, we didn't worry about the greatest common factor. Now we're going to add that in there. Okay, before we start doing this part, where we do the parentheses, we have to look to see if there's any greatest common factor, which is what we were doing earlier this period. Are there any greatest common factors? Yeah, we can take a 5 out. What else can we take out? What else can we take out? We just did this earlier this period. X. What's that leave me? X squared minus 5x plus 4. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so we take out the common factor first. Now we're ready to factor this just like we did above. So we've got 5x, and we're going to make our two sets of parentheses. We put an x in each parenthesis. Okay? So the part that's in white, right, this is the one part that we just learned. Come on. Okay, all right, now, looking for two numbers that add up to 4, multiply to 4, but add up to 5. So our options are 1 and 4 or 2 and 2. Which one adds up to 5?
First one.
1 and 4. Okay, so 1 and 4. All right, so this one's a little tricky though, because do I want it to add up to 5? I want it to add up to -5. So how would I get these two numbers to multiply to equal +4, but add up? Yeah, make them both negative. Right? A -1 times a -4 equals +4. Right? A -1 times a -4 equals +4. -1 plus -4 equals -5. Okay? So that was a little bit trickier. Okay, let's try another one that's tricky. Let's do 5x to the third minus 35. Let me fix it. It's messy. Let's try that again. 5x to the third minus 35x squared plus 40x. Is that going to work? I don't think that's going to work. We're going to have to change these. It's going to have to be a plus and a minus like that. Okay, what do we do first? TJ, what do we do first? What were we doing earlier this period? Right, find the greatest common factor. So 5, 35, and 40. What can I take out of that? 5. Okay. What else can I take out of this? Lexi, what else can I take out? X. Okay. All right. Let's look at what's left. Dominic, what's left? Okay.
X
Yeah, that's right so far. Keep going.
And you gotta put a 7 x and then minus 8.
Excellent. Good. Okay. Okay, now we're going to factor what's left inside the parentheses. So we're going to make 2 sets of parentheses, put an X in each one, and don't forget about this 5X. Okay. All right, this time I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to equal -8. So we're looking 1 and -8, or -1 and +8, 2 and -4, or -2 and +4. Which combination adds to +8? Which ones add up to +8? I'm sorry, 7. Thank you. Did I say 8? I'm sorry. Which one adds to +7? Yeah, -1 and +8. Okay. All right. Questions so far? Okay, here comes another one. Let's do 3n squared minus 30n plus 63. I want you to turn to your neighbor and do this together. But I want to hear the discussion about it. Don't just do it on your own. Turn to your neighbor and discuss it and do it.
I'm just gonna do it real quick.
Turn to your neighbor, guys. Turn to your neighbor. Or the person behind you. I don't care.
So then that would be 3 and
Riley, Halston, Lexi, Mark.
Yeah, that.
oh wait, no,
Turn to
you
each other.
can take this as 3 out.
You can take a 3, yeah. So that'd be into the second. Minus 10 plus
Plus 9. No, wrong.
plus 21.
That would be n in the second minus 3 and now we gotta find something that goes into that.
I'm like kind of yeah, this one doesn't have an N on all three. It only has a 2. Like
3
this
and
one has
7.
S,
Negative.
so we can't take down the N.
We make it 3, -7.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So it's just gonna be 3. I think. Or I might be wrong. And it might
Good job,
be
Drew. We talked it out.
Okay. This is
Like the easiest thing you can do.
Miss Bergen, you put the GCF in the front of it, right?
Okay, here we go. So what did we start out doing? Mary, what did you do first?
brought down 3.
There you go. Factored out of 3. Excellent. Excellent. What did that leave you with, Mary?
10 and
You had it. I heard you talking it out, and I heard you explaining to one of your partners why we could not take an N out of there, and that was excellent. Okay, Gianna, why can't you take an N out of there? Because I heard Mary telling you why. Right. They don't all 3 have one. The 63 does not have an N. So you can't take it out. Very good. Okay. So we've got a 3. Now we're going to break it into the parentheses. Notice that 3 doesn't disappear. It's still there. right? Okay, each parenthesis is going to get an n. Drew, how did you factor this? I need two numbers that multiply to equal positive 21, but add up to negative 10. So what?
We said -7 and -3.
Negative 7 and negative 3. Do negative 7 times negative 3 equal positive 21? Yes.
Hi there, can I please have Dominic Celestino for early dismissal?
Okay.
Thank you.
And do negative 7 plus negative 3 equal negative 10? Yes, they do. So we are factored. Okay. Good job. Okay, let's do another one. All right, which ones have I done so far?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's see how fast you can do this one. 6x squared plus 30x plus 36. Let's see how fast you can do it. Are we done? Need to go another round? Okay. Who wants to do it?
No.
Okay. Who else wants to do it? Mark, what you do first? Took a 6 out. Good. Good start. Leaves me with x squared plus 5x plus 6. Make our two parentheses. There you go. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good job. All right. If I say we're going to quit for the day, will you guys keep it quiet in here?
Yes.
Okay. No homework. But don't forget, you have a homework quiz on the greatest common factoring next time we meet.